Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life and the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. What's good, guys? Good morning. I wanted to do a quick video for you guys this morning about something that, I don't know, I think it's been covered, but not really. I'm not sure if everyone's kind of getting the significance of what's going on. And did you guys notice, did you hear about the Congress, essentially, right? Senators and the House of Representatives and introduced a bill or act. It's called the Payments Modernization Act, that gives the Fed authority to change the payment system, cross-border payments, and a real-time settlement payment system. Gives the Fed the authority to do so. And I'm thinking to myself, isn't that interesting that they would do that? That the Senate, essentially Congress, someone's getting pulled over, and essentially Congress is putting this, put this together to give the Fed the authority to do it. And I'm thinking to myself, what is the company? Who is the company that has been working with the Federal Reserve on the faster payments task force and the likes since pretty much day one? And that has been Ripple. And now some people are saying, this whole thing is, the feds are going to put something in place if the banks don't change. Or some people are just saying, look, the Fed is going to put themselves in a position to leverage XRP no matter what. And that's what I believe. I believe that the Federal Reserve is going to put themselves in a position to leverage Ripple's technology, XRapid and XRP, no matter what. This whole thing may be, ringing the bell, if you will, sounding the alarm to the banks for them to change their system. But I just think, when you see Congress, at that hearing and they're grilling Steve Mnuchin about, you said you were going to have this payment system changed by 2020. Will it be implemented by 2020? And he's saying, no, I just think that's for me, that's just theater. Because I think they already know what the deal is. Right? The Federal Reserve is going to be a major part in this whole thing. And I just believe, I know it's a couple of people who believe this in the XRP community as well, that the Federal Reserve is going to have themselves some XRP. They're going to leverage, absolutely going to leverage all things XRapid and XRP without question. There's a reason why the people from Ripple are on the board for this. They're on a board for that. Ryan Segon's on a board for this. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. So, when you realize that we've been working with the faster payments task force, and any kind of thing that's having to deal with cross-border payments and real-time settlement, Ripple is always there. I just believe that the feds are going to have a major role in going forward with this new payment system. I just believe that 100%. Whether or not it's a sounding alarm for the banks to change their system or not, I don't know. Here's the thing that I do know. Here's the thing that I do know. The bank, who is we hear this phrase thrown around all the time, right? A level playing field. A level playing field. Well, let me tell you who is not interested in a level playing field. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, they are not interested, right? That's not music to their ears. A level playing field. They've had a monopoly on this system for decades. So they're not interested in a level playing field. And the fact that they're trying to get the Fed saying, oh, hey, hold on, we got, we spent $1 billion, we got this thing, that we can implement. It's not going to fly, I don't think. But in either case, XRP and XRapid will be leveraged. The Ripple net is massively important because people on that network will be able to network, if you will, with each other on the network. So it's going to be power in the network and being part of that network. And that's really, really, really going to be key, because these small to medium enterprises and these small to medium banks Okay, they're going to be able to network with each other. And I think that's going to be huge, right? It's like having partners, if you will, to take advantage of whatever each one has to offer. And so I think that's going to be huge, and taking advantage of being on that network is going to be huge. I think that Ripple network is going to be massive. And when you have people like MoneyGram part of it, for me, I think it's game over. I truly believe that. So I really believe strongly. I would love to hear what you guys think about the Federal Reserve and the role that they're going to play in this new financial system framework. I think the Feds are going to play a huge role in it. And I just, it's just funny how Congress just all of a sudden, just kind of puts this act together. Just comes together and say, let's push this through. Payments Modernization Act that gives the Fed authority to change the cross-border settlement and real-time settlement payment system is massive. Is 100% massive that they're doing that. And they have to know what's going on. They have to know. And XRP is all over it. There isn't another digital asset out there that is. And when you got to get that Congress and the Fed, when they have a company and they can tout this company and they can walk them through, whether it be on media or a different events, and say, okay, here's a CEO and here's a company, here's this fintech company that has from day one been regulatory compliant, and then, okay, look at all these other things that they're doing. It's just a win-win. It's an easy sell, if you will. It's an easy sell. And so there isn't a company better positioned to be a major integral part in this new financial system than Ripple, the company, and the greatest digital asset ever created, which is XRP, without question. So I'm really, really excited about that. There was a guy who on Twitter, his name is Colonel XRP, and he had like 2 or 3 very interesting tweets from a few days ago, I'm guessing. But it was basically talking about the Q2 report and how, and kind of like the reason behind it. And one of the statements in that Q2 report was the fact that Ripple was saying they were going to cut off this, substantially decrease the sales of XRP over-the-counter to over-the-counter parties, right? And I think it's more important than a lot of people are realizing. The fact that they're going to do that is going to create this amount of scarcity that is massive. But he made an interesting point. I'm not sure if it's correct or not. It makes sense. But he made a very interesting point, is that, if XRP was just to be on the exchanges and OTC, earlier on, the price would have major volatility. Now that the OTC and the big boys have their XRP, they're loaded up in a sense, whether it be for liquidity providers or whatever. But now that they're loaded up, it'll be okay to now let the traditional market do its due, because they will provide the stability in the marketplace, and it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know enough about it, but it makes sense to me. But if that is the case, and then XRP is now allowed, if you will, to let it take the traditional marketplace growth, the price is going to be the price. The buy and sell walls are going to be the buy and sell walls. I think it's going to be massive. I think that plays right into, quite honestly, Shane Ellis's theory. It doesn't have to be about this whole, crazy volume and, market cap and the number of coins available and all that. It's just a certain amount of buy and sell orders, and a walled garden, if you will, can drive the price up instantly. And I believe that 100%. And so, I wish that I had that tweet. Of course, I wouldn't want to read it while I'm driving. But that tweet from Colonel XRP, you're gonna have to scroll down his page a bit to find it. But it was 2 or 3 tweets, and it absolutely makes sense to me. I can't say that it's accurate, but it makes sense to me that is the case. And so the fact that Ripple is cutting off these sales like the way that they are, to these big players, to these OTCs markets or OTC players, is going to be, that's significant. That's significant. And we all know 900 million XRP sold this past quarter with a value of about $251 million. And for them to say, you know what, we're going to cut that down. We're not going to be doing that anymore, says a lot about what Ripple, the company, is expecting. $251 million in a quarter, and they're going to be like, yeah, we're good. We're good now. We don't have to. We're going to substantially cut down the sales of XRP. Is how huge. I mean, it's huge that they've decided to do that. And I love the way they're so transparent in their reporting. But, for me, and it's just kind of my brain, I just really believe, that's letting us know something. Corey Johnson, just out of nowhere, getting on Twitter and saying that this report is probably the most important report in the history of the company Ripple. That's code for a message. That's code for it's game on. In my opinion. In my opinion. It's code. It's like it's game on. Really. It's really, really game on. And so I hope you guys as XRP holders are good in your position. I hope you got your bags filled. I hope this is some great news for you. If you haven't read that quarter two report, I would suggest you go check it out, read it, level up your XRP IQ. It's important. It's important to know what you have. It's important to know, the value, the fundamental value of XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. It's important to know that. So guys, definitely tell me what you think. Do you think the Federal Reserve is going to play a major role in this new financial system? I believe it, and I believe they're going to hold on to some XRP. I would love to hear what you guys think about that. I think the Federal Reserve is going to be a major role because they've been quiet for a long, long time. It's kind of, you hadn't heard anything from them other than the fact, this faster payments task force put together, with people from Ripple all over that. So it's going to be massive, in my opinion. So, this is exciting times. I read that report, that Q2 report, and I started looking into some of the X-Spring companies again, whether it be Dharma or Coil or Bolt. And Bolt is an interesting one. But in either case, I'm looking through these things, and I just, Ripple, the company, is genius in motion. They really are genius in motion, and everything that they're doing is so strategic and so smart. It really is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. So it's exciting times. It's exciting to know that we have a company with a CEO and a CTO and a CFO and a CIO and a COO, right? And some smart people behind us. And that's what we have. That's the kind of advantage that we have over a lot of digital assets. Again, someone pointed this out, this New York thing that they got going on, right? The new NYS something, right? New York State Federal Service, something, financial services, that new thing where they appointed Ryan Sagone as one of the first members on there. Like, you gotta get that. Like, you gotta get it. Now, they were saying that he was the only coin, but it's not. The guy who created Ethereum is on it as well. But just, for us to have someone on that is massive in so many ways. And I love the fact that, the people from Ethereum, especially Vitalik, they're very, very cool with XRP. And so there's a big time friendship and respect there, especially from Buterin in terms of for the people. Because Ripple, he used to hang out in the Ripple offices. And so major respect there. So no one has what we have. They don't have what we have. And this is very, very important for the Fed and for President Donald Trump and for Steve Mnuchin to be able to point to a CEO, to be able to point to a united, it's very important for the U.S. government to be able to, got to get this, to be able to point to a U.S.-based company. That's why they keep talking about, so negatively about Bitcoin, because they know what the deal is. Ripple and XRP, it's kind of a U.S. thing. That's just the way it is. There's no insult to any of my fans out here who might be from different places. You understand that's a thing that they are looking at. They don't like the fact that Bitcoin is, is pretty much dominated, especially the mining in China. They don't like it. So we're in a good spot. We are in a good spot. I hope you have enough XRP. I hope you feel comfortable in your holdings. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But I hope that you can do your homework and do your due diligence and know and just kind of see where we are. I remember, I heard the digital asset investor say this the other day, and it's funny because when I first started doing my videos, I would go to, I don't go there anymore, but I used to go to CoinMarketCap. I use Live Coin Watch now, but I used to go to CoinMarketCap, and I would just look at the top 5. And during the video, I would just say, where do you think you're going to get the best bang for your buck? Look at the prices. Where do you think you're going to get the best bang for your buck? And XRP was always right there at number 3. And, I would circle it. I wouldn't say anything, because I didn't want people to, rely on my word. But I would tell them, look, click here, click on the website, check out the team, check out the advisors, that type of thing. That was always the same thing. Click on the digital asset, go to the website, check out the team, check out the advisors. And if you do that for XRP, you'll be blown away. Absolutely blown away. And never ever forget that XRP was spun off of the flaws of Bitcoin. In other words, it was put together to be a better version initially. Never ever forget that. And it is substantially better technology. Substantially better technology. And you hold it. And you hold the greatest digital asset ever created that the world needs in the financial system. You got to get that. They need it because the biggest challenge going on globally is illiquidity. And XRP provides instant liquidity. I'm telling you, the financial markets, the people in the knows, they know it. And this is something probably that they've been waiting for all their life. Instant liquidity, being able to settle instantly, or freeing up these no-show and Vostro accounts from the banks. I mean, it's just not the banking system. Don't forget the derivatives market, the FX market. Don't forget those. It's going to play a major role in those as well. And we hold it, guys. So I hope you're excited about that. Go check out Colonel XRP. Now, I will have to tell you, he likes to use the language, right? So if you don't like the cursing and the swearing or whatever, apply a little bit of discernment. Just pass by those tweets and find that tweet that I'm talking about, 2 or 3 tweets where he's talking about the Q2 report and stuff like that. So a lot of his tweets does make some sense. He was kind of getting on the SBI VC trade. I thought that was funny. Like, dude, what's up with this maintenance thing? So what is the word with SBI VC trade? Haven't heard anything. Don't know what's up with that. Hopefully they'll get live soon. I tell you what, I got a guy who comments a lot on the channel. His name is Carl Wagner. Very, very smart guy. He says they're waiting for a green light. And in his opinion, he put IMO, in my opinion, SBI VC trade is waiting for the green light. They're waiting for the green light. And that's what it feels like that to me as well. That, when they talk about turning on a switch, and remember, I think it was the DTCC that said the same thing as well. It's kind of like, I believe it was them, they had this quote about massive enabling, like it was going to be like just turn on, this switch, turn the switch on, and a bunch of stuff was going to be turned on with one flip of the switch. And I think that's the case. I really do. And XRP will be in the middle of all of that. So guys, do your homework, level up your XRP IQ, level up your digital asset space, this new asset class, level up your IQ there. And please level up your financial IQ. It's important, because when it goes up, when XRP goes crazy, and now you have access to this cash, you got to know what to do with it, or you'll just, spend it. So you have to read. I recommend that you read Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I recommend that you read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also read Cash Flow Quadrant. Right? It's important. You gotta level up your game. If you want to read some Dave Ramsey books, if you happen to have a debt situation, you're not good with budgeting, that's a great guide to turn to. But you gotta level up your financial IQ, because you're gonna just, you'll blow the money. You'll blow your money. So level up those IQ, guys. Listen, thanks for hanging out. I definitely appreciate it. Never ever forget that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playing field that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is your chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.